I'm going to be honest. I'm still fuming, like fuming about that result yesterday. Say whatever you want about the performance. Too slow, no second balls won, sloppy, wrong team selection, whatever you want to say, that's fine. But you cannot say that we were not absolutely robbed by the referee yesterday. Stuart Attwell was an absolute disgrace. So was Craig Pawson on VAR yesterday. But you know what? I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Hi. Welcome to Unitedverse, everybody. I am your host, Sean, as always. We are here to talk a little bit about Manchester United's Desmond 2-all draw against Bournemouth yesterday. We are going to take a look at the performance. We're going to take a look at the numbers a little bit. I've got my 3 takeaways from the match as well. You can probably guess a little bit with where one of them is going to be, but we're going to talk about all that today, you guys. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, you guys. Check those memberships as well. Let's get stuck in. I'll see you in a hot second. Look what I found. Took a couple times, but thankfully Liverpool decided to replenish my bottle of Scouse Tears today after their 2-1 loss to Brighton. So big up Liverpool. You'll always cry alone, right? Let's have another swig, shall we? Once you get past the salt, it tastes pretty good. It's replenishing. I find it really replenishing for my day. So big up Liverpool. Oh, let's see who's involved today. Let's see who's in the chat, you guys. Danny B's in the house. Big up, Danny. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Hope you guys are enjoying your life. Yes, we can laugh at Liverpool. Oh, Arne Slot. Honestly, right now is the best time for them to go ahead and, I mean, really, you can argue the summer was the best time, but really right now, I feel like they really could maybe take advantage of a bit of a new manager bounce. They've got a long time here with no matches. They really should just go ahead and sack the giant baby Arne Slot and bring in Xabi Alonso. We all know that's what's going to happen in this. Let's just get it over with now. Let Xabi Alonso get a little bit of time to see who's up for it, who's not. Let him maybe get a new manager bounce in Champions League. Maybe they can get something. Maybe they can salvage something from the rest of the season. But it's turned into one of the worst title defenses I've ever seen. It is a bit of a point game. Oh, but they're absolute dog shit. Yes, I've told you guys about Van Hecke, man. He was an absolute boss today. He was popping up everywhere he needed to be, holding up the ball, last-ditch tackles and stuff, carrying that ball out of defense, driving up. Again, if you want a younger, perhaps a bit quicker version of Harry Maguire to just, that's, Van Hecke is pretty much the guy to go to, man. He is an absolute boss. Again, entering the final year of his contract, could be available for pretty cheap. I mean, maybe you just go full ruthless, get rid of De Ligt, get rid of Leach, or just maybe just to say, hey, you know what, until you guys are fit, you guys aren't starting, go there. But Van Hecke, you guys know, if you guys caught my £200 million rebuild with Dylan, was an option simply because he's going into the final year of his contract, not renewing. But big up Brighton, big up Danny Welbeck. Once a Red, always a Red. It's the Lord's work you're doing, Welbs. Sorry that he signed his new contract. So anybody who was jumping on Dylan's bandwagon a couple weeks ago because he put the heartstrings pick for his £200 million rebuild, well, sorry, you can go cry about it. I knew Dylan was doing that too. I see you, Dylan. I see you. In other news, Under 21s picked up a big 1-0 win over Reading yesterday. Victor Musa bagging the winner. Shea Lacey provided the assist in that one as well. Early this morning, I did put a tweet out, 7 a.m. kickoff for me. I don't know what it's like for you guys, but under 18s played Blackburn as well. Big 3-0 win over them. And pen from J.J. Gabriel, a goal from Kai Rooney as well, and then a free kick goal from Jim Thwaites, which was absolutely perfect. What an absolute stunning free kick from him. I can't wait for him to break into the first team, not because of free kicks, although it's been a while since we've had some monster free kick goals, but he's just so good in midfield. He's got low center of gravity. He's really press resistant in that tight area, kind of in our own defensive third, able to just escape pressure, able to kind of always scan, see the best options, able to keep that ball. And that's really, to me, an important facet of being a six, being a holding midfielder. cool. You can want them to be strong. You can want them to be defensive. You can want them to be fast if you want. If you play too many video games, I'm sure that's what you think. But if you're composed and press resistant and you can read the game, I think that puts you streets ahead of anyone else because you look faster. You look like everybody else is just keeping up with you at that point. But so Jim Thwaite's definitely got something about him. I really like what I see from the kid. Women's team also got a win today over Everton 2-1. And big up to Hinata Miyazawa for her Asian Cup win with Japan. She's on a little bit of international duty right now. So women's team doing well as well. So big up everybody. Let's jump into some United news again. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Let us know where you're watching from. If this is your first time, let us know how the community is growing. Let us know what you're getting up to this weekend. I'd like to see what everybody's getting up to. Start with a little bit of news before we dive into this match because trying to put off the rant for as long as I can. But word on the street is that Kobbie Mainoo and Harry Maguire are set to be awarded with some new contracts coming up. Now, nothing official yet, but a lot of journos picking this up. David Ornstein kind of broke this news yesterday. I haven't seen a ton of details, but early reports suggest that Maguire's new deal could potentially be a 1+1, so 1 year with an option to extend, potentially keeping him here till he's, 35 or so. So still younger than Evans was when we brought him back for free. Kobbie Mainoo, reportedly, I've seen reports, right? Nothing's official, but reportedly going to be a 5-year deal. 120K a week is what I'm seeing. Some reports just say quadruple. I think he's on like 25K. So again, around that 100 to 125K a week kind of thing, which I told you when Chris Wheeler was coming out here early this season talking about Kobbie was holding out for like more than 200K, and then he dropped it to like 180K. I told you guys, just don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You might as well just add him to your list of unreliable sources. He's been on my list for a while, Chris Wheeler, so just move on past that guy. I mean, at this point, it's quicker just to name who is reliable than to keep going through the list of who's not reliable. It's all bollocks anyway. So, but yeah, we'll see. The official announcement will come out sometime soon, but I know some people have been wanting and pushing Kobbie. A lot of people were raging against Amorim for not playing him. Where do you see Kobbie fitting into this side? A lot of people say we need two midfielders. A lot of people are listing guys like Stiller alongside someone like an Anderson, which makes me believe that they see Stiller as coming in as a starter. If so, what does that mean for Kobbie? Is it fine to have rotation? Is Kobbie just not there yet? Should Kobbie be the starting midfielder in that pivot, and then we should look for a backup to him? Let me know what you guys think about that one. Let me know what you think about potential for new contracts for Maguire and Kobbie. I do worry that this means even with injuries to Licha and De Ligt. So obviously it seems like if we're offering Maguire a new contract, we're covering, right, for these guys. Because De Ligt's back injury, that's a big unknown still as well. And Licha, you just don't ever know with the long-term kind of potential hiccups from those big injuries that Licha had. It's one of those things where you can maybe think that there will be issues, you can hope there won't be issues, but you won't know until something happens, right? But if it's going to be a recurring thing, we need to move on a little bit. And that's why I think Jan-Paul Van Hecke could be a really good pickup. There's a lot of good pickups. Senesi entering, will be free this summer. I've heard Juve probably going to wrap up him. That's a good pickup for Juve. Lautaro Rivera I really like. He's doing a really good job as well at River Plate. He's basically a Lisandro Martinez regen too, so there's that. But we've also got Heaven, we've also got Euro, but those are going to potentially, Heaven and Euro might be our starting center backs when we come back from this international break with Maguire picking up a 1-game ban. So we'll see how that goes. Unless Licha is fit, please God, let Licha be fit, because this could be rough. But we'll see what happens with all the contract nonsense and with fitness. We are all going to be sweating a little bit when it comes to fitness on these cats. So let's talk about this match. I know we've put it off as far as we can. What are you guys' thoughts overall? Danny says we got bent over. We should have taken her. Yeah, we were definitely. It felt like one of those matches. The longer that went on, where we were getting chances, we weren't putting them away, and it kind of felt like they were going to get some goal from a corner or something. Really annoying. I liked that, like we talked about in the preview, Danny. I liked that we kind of let Bournemouth have a little more of the ball. I'm going to do this because I like this better. But I didn't, like you're saying, I didn't like how wasteful we were. Like, I thought that was the plan. They don't want to have a lot of the ball. They're better on these switches and these transitions. So just let them see what they can do when they've got the ball and they don't have the room to run and they can't just, impose their game. We kept, I mean, to be fair, we kept the vast majority of their shots to outside the box efforts, so we could set up the counters. But again, when you set up that way, which again, I don't have a problem with against certain opposition, right? But when you set up that way, you have to capitalize on your chances and you have to move the ball quickly. We had 14 shots, only 5 of which on target, and 7 of those were blocked too, which means Bournemouth were still able to get back in numbers. When you see all the shots, you see a lot of blocks. There's a lot of bodies in between you and the goal. We had 8 shots from inside the box too. So again, like you're saying, Danny, like I said, it was just wasteful. We weren't clinical, especially like that Dallo chance that I still think is sailing around somewhere over the shore. Like, come on, dude. Bruno got his goal from the pen. He could have had an assist had that corner had gone in off Maguire and not been an own goal as well. Is it bad? I said this during the match. Is it bad that I really wanted for that pen that we had? That you guys remember when Barcelona, when it was Messi took the pen, but instead of shooting, he just kind of laid it off a little bit, and I think it was Suarez came in and buried it. Is it bad that I wanted Bruno to do that for that pen just so he could get another assist and get closer to the record? That's where my head's at right now, but I mean, that's where I was wanting. Yeah, we were a bit sloppy on the ball too, man. It wasn't very good. It was just too slow, too ponderous. We struggled against that high press, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more as well. It just wasn't good enough on the day, and it's not for the first time, which is a bit worrying. If you want to know how I feel more about that, you can go check out my recent video that I dropped on the reasons why maybe Michael Carrick should not be given the permanent job. I remember I did 2 videos, reasons for, reasons against why Michael Carrick, yay or nay for a permanent job. Go check both of those out. They're blowing up right now. A lot of people are really feeling them. But also, most importantly, make sure when you're watching the videos, leave your comments so you can let me know your thoughts. And drop a like while you're there as well. It always does help. A lot of people watching, not a whole lot of likes and subscriptions. So let's see if we can balance that out a little bit. Let's talk about this match a little bit, because I've got 3 takeaways. I'm not going to go into detail player by player. That's usually for the player ratings video. And because the match was late yesterday, I just didn't have time to do that yesterday. But we'll see how it goes. I want to know your thoughts, because I've got many, but I'm going to limit it to 3 today. Starting with the most obvious one, right? Attwell, the a-hole. We might as well get this out of the way, right? There's no way around it. Stuart Attwell and the VAR were a complete disgrace. They were an absolute disgrace. There's no ifs, ands, or bunts. Pens, no pens. I mean, it's just a shambles. The first pen we were awarded was a pen, right? It is what it is. I mean, Cunha pulled down in the box, stonewall pen. Jimenez knew it as well, so it's not like he can argue. I mean, he knew exactly what it was. His head body language told you literally everything you needed to know. But so what he was thinking there is beyond me. You don't take someone down like that. You can't pull him back. That's not cool. But then we had that other penalty call completely disregarded. And in the same sequence of play, from all the way from that no call on Ahmad, and literally Bournemouth get down on an attack, and they score through, I think it was Christie got that goal. Alex Scott, great game. Big up him. I like him more and more the more I watch him play. But again, shit defending from us pretty much gifted that goal. But again, the no call from the referee also played a big part in it, man. It almost felt like the United players were like half stepping it there, because they were still waiting for the ball to they were just assuming it was going to get pulled back, so they just didn't even try almost. Which honestly, it should have. Like, let's throw this up on the screen. Like, how this is not given. He literally plays no attempt to play the ball, grabs a hold of him with both hands, whips him around. Like, he's not even looking at the ball when he grabs him. He just sees that Ahmad's getting by him, and he goes to grab him first and foremost. Basically spins him to the ground, man. How is this not a pen, right? And then I don't know if you saw this when it happened, but Stuart Attwell like literally runs up to Ahmad, who's on the ground, and is basically yelling at him. Like, I don't know what he said. I wish I would have been able to hear it, but it's like he's yelling at him, telling him to get up or whatever you want to call it. We're told that the reason for the no call here was insufficient contact from Trufair on this one. I don't know how you can look at that and call that insufficient contact to me, but it looks pretty sufficient in my opinion. So, in and of itself, though, like whatever, right? Like it's just it is what it is. Shit decision. It happens. Fuck off, Stuart Attwell, right? It happens. Except. Maguire is just later on in the match determined to foul Evan Nielsen in our box with literally less contact than Truefair just had on Ahmad. Maguire's shown a red for the denial of a goal scoring opportunity. So, again, a whole other incident, identical, and you could argue even less severe from a physicality standpoint. Without, it's like, let's take the Ahmad incident out of it for a second. If there was no Ahmad, no pen call, right? And you just take the Maguire incident in and of itself, I almost, I don't really have a complaint. Is it soft? Sure. But it is what it is. Like last goal scoring up, whatever, it is what it is. But the two incidents are pretty much identical. I mean, and again, Maguire's got one arm on Evan Nilsson, who just goes down easily. Truefair's got both arms on Ahmad. One was given, one is not given. Like, I don't get it. Exactly, Danny. Like, I'm waiting for VAR to intervene. I have no clue how they won't intervene. We're going to talk about a little bit about why they might not have intervened in a second here. But so ex PGMOL boss Keith Hackett said after the match as well that Ahmad should have been awarded the pen there. He said that, United are right to be a little aggrieved by that. And so even then, even with all that in mind, like, it is what it is, right? Whatever. It is what it is. Except. Stuart Attwell is the same referee who's determined to have incorrectly chalked off a Lissandro Martinez goal against Burnley after Kyle Walker's bitch ass dove to the ground in the box on that corner. They came out after and said, no, that goal should have stood. So Stuart Attwell again at the center of controversy. He also, in that same exact match, completely ignored a blatant handball. I'm sorry, not the same match. He ignored a stamp on Dorgu in that match from Kyle Walker, if you guys remember that. So he ignored that one. He was also the referee when we played Middlesbrough in an FA Cup tie who ignored a blatant handball in the build-up to their winning goal, which cost us that match, if you guys remember, a couple years ago. So he was, again, the center of controversy there. In a match against Chelsea, he denied us a clear penalty and ignored VAR's advice altogether. And if you remember, that was the match where Luke Shaw came out afterwards and claimed that he heard Attwell tell Harry Maguire that he couldn't give us a pen because it would have caused a lot of talk. Shaw later recanted that, saying he misheard it. Clearly, he did that to avoid punishment, let's be honest, because we all saw what happened. And Pawson, who was the VAR yesterday, also was heavily involved when he failed to send off Nathan Collins earlier this season for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity against us in September. Again, ignoring VAR. Something, again, the match panel later on admitted was the wrong decision. He should have, sent the player off. It's not conspiracy by United fans. It's not us whining about it. It is clear-cut evidence, and the fact that these committees are coming out afterwards and saying, yes, that decision was wrong. Yes, that decision was wrong. And it's the same exact referees who did it again yesterday. We just want consistency, man. That's all we want. There's inconsistent decisions, zero accountability or consequences when those decisions cost points, when they're very high profile and very clear-cut incorrect decisions. That same ref is back refereeing the match the very next day. And it's bad enough you get inconsistent decisions across different matches, but this is identical decisions, same referees, same match that have completely different rulings that make zero sense. Now, you saw Mike Dean, I don't know if you guys watched it, literally doing gymnastics in his brain trying to navigate the refereeing association out of trouble here. Like, there's nothing you could do. Michael Owen can do one as well with his nonsense as well. I'm very happy that Andy Cole went on him a little bit. But it's ridiculous that there's no consequences here. But if players or managers complain about it at all a little bit in the presser, they're fine. It's a bunch of the FA and the PGMO. They're a bunch of precious little pricks, man. I'm absolutely done with these guys, man. Let me do this so you guys can read what I'm about to put up. I'm very, very glad that Bruno came out and said it. Bruno, Maguire, Carrick all had comments to say, and I had no problem with them coming out. Walk into that press conference with a blank check and say whatever you want as far as I'm concerned, and just tell me how much I'm fined. I'll write you the check right now. Bruno says, I know it's tough for a referee to give two penalties to the same team in the same match. So again, slight dig at him, which I'm totally here for. But I don't understand why one foul is a penalty and the other isn't. The foul on Ahmad is a penalty. Yeah, it was. Way more blatant call, Stonewall, than the one that Maguire gave away. Carrick came out after and said, we should have had another penalty. Obviously, if you get one, you must get the other. It's pretty much identical for me, two-hand grab. Either way, he's got one wrong. But to give one and not give the other, I can't get my head around it. I think it's crazy. He says there are enough people to standardize the decisions. If one isn't a penalty, the other isn't a penalty. I have no problem whatsoever. Like I said, zero qualms whatsoever if you want to give the Maguire as a pen and send him. It is what it is. But then you have to give the Ahmad one as a pen. And like they're saying, you either give both or you don't give any, because you can't say one is a pen and one is not. It does not make any sense. The math is not mathing. I don't care if Carrick or Bruno or Maguire are fine, because Maguire said something about it as well. Like, fair play to him. I would do the same exact thing. Now, reportedly, United are set to file a formal complaint to the PGMOL today. So good luck with that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, it needs to be called out, right? I'm glad that it's going to get called out, but at the same time, cool. Even if they admit that they made a mistake, like they've done several times already this season, it's too late. Match is over. We've dropped points as a result of it. Like, it just is what it is. And yeah, I know I've gone on about how it is tin pot to blame the refs, but there's a difference between the referee getting a couple 50-50s wrong in the middle of the park and a referee literally giving two different decisions to the identical fouls. There's a huge difference there. And the fact that the same referees have been at the center of this for United matches multiple times in recent years says everything you need to know, in my opinion. It's absolute criminal. I'm so frustrated. I'm still fuming. And 9 minutes of added time is an absolute piss take, by the way. Something else that Carrick mentioned as well. No injuries in the second half whatsoever. Bournemouth did all their subs at one time. Like, where is the 9 minutes coming from? And I said this literally right when we got to stoppage time. I was at Bill's, hanging out with Bill, hanging out with Brad. Big up, you guys. Big up, Bill. Fish and chips. Absolute boss. Big up, Brad, too. Kicked the ball around at halftime. Dude's got a touch like you wouldn't believe. I would trust Brad to catch a baby with his touch. He's good. He's got it. But like I said, going into the stoppage time, like there's gonna be like 8 minutes, and sure enough, they threw 9. And I just at that point, like I was literally after that Maguire sending off, I was like just switched off. I was tuned out, man. I was just done, man. 9 minutes was ridiculous. The non-pen was ridiculous. Thankfully, Maguire is only going to see a one-match ban, but it's absolute horse shit, man. Let me you guys saying. Danny says he's got an agenda. I have no idea what's going on in Stuart Attwell's mind, man. Like, somebody, this is where I'm like, somebody needs to just 2-foot this ref or just rip a shot right at him and just walk up to him and say, you know why I did that, right? Like, call a fair match, dude. Seriously. Like, just rip a shot. When he runs in front of you, just fire one off. I don't even care. We deserve betters in the house. Big up, says the ghost goal between Reading and Watford sums up how ridiculous this ref is. Oh yeah, this ref, and this is the problem. Like, the standard of refereeing in England is just in the mud. It just is, and the biggest reason why is it's too expensive in England to become a referee. I've said it many times. Make the first round of refereeing courses free. Let people go on or go to a center and do it for free. It's just fine. And then when you've got a good selection of people who maybe they don't have as much money so they can't afford it, but if you get it for free, then we can start to see who's got it, who doesn't, and then we can figure it out. Get enough quality officials through that next round before we start charging money, man. Like, but that is a big hurdle for a lot of people. It's a bit gatekeeping as well, and I'm just tired of it, dude. And all VAR has done is just bring that to the fore. Like, it just makes them look even worse, in my opinion. It's like failing a long division math test when you've got a calculator and a computer and chat GPT available to you. Like, it's just ridiculous, VAR, man. But big up, we deserve better. Good to see you again, man. Always a pleasure. Guys, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. We're going to dive into my second takeaway here. Hawaii, what up? This says, I'm in Manchester United content. I want to collab with you someday. Well, hit me up at unitedstatesofunited@gmail.com if you want to talk about, I'll check out your channel, big up. But welcome to the channel. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. That's my blackmail for getting me to collab. Let's move on to my second takeaway of the evening. Carrick, wrong again. I hate being right sometimes. Like, I'm not a big I told you so guy unless it's everything I'm about to say right now. Then I'm a big I told you so guy. Did I not say in the match preview that this was not the game to start Mbumo as a number 9? We needed to move the ball quicker if we were going to do that because Bournemouth have notorious. They last year Bournemouth had the best high press in the league, literally the best presses per defensive action. The PPDA is among the best in the league. Their high press is still like 4th or 5th in the league this year. They are good. Did I not say that? I mean, I was there. Like, I remember saying it. And once again, I feel like I was sort of proven right, just like Aston Villa, because Mbeumo was completely ineffective on the night. Once again, first one taken off, replaced by Šeško, like Carrick's had to do multiple times now because he's just gotten it wrong. And a lot of it does have to do with team selection against opposition. I'm not seeing a whole lot of opposition analysis from Michael Carrick. A lot of it has to do with our failure to up the tempo when playing out from the back. We need to play more direct, more vertical balls, move that ball quicker, get some runners going. It's just too much standing around, too much static, too much shitting ourselves because Bournemouth are trying to press us a little bit. We've got good players. Yes, we miss Licha. Yes, Shaw's a bit slow. Like, Yoro's still young. Dallow's shit on the ball. It is what it is, but just move the ball quicker. But Bournemouth's press made it difficult to get that ball. If you're going to play him as a 9 in Mbumo, you've got to play it quickly. We struggled to do that. Again, I'm not seeing a ton of opposition analysis from Carrick these days. It's more just him kind of banking on his setup working and banking on the players delivering, which, to be fair, the players missed a lot of sitters yesterday. Dallow's Sky, just like that sticks out of my brain. But I need to see more from him to show that he's prepared for the opposition before I can get close to even considering him for a long-term option. If you watch my 2 recent videos, the case for, the case against Carrick, I did touch upon that, so go check that out. I worry if the training changes have a role to play as well. But like when Middlesbrough went on a bit of a losing run in Carrick's 3rd season there, like in late 2025, he struggled to turn things around. He struggled to rest that decline in form. And again, he stuck with an approach that maybe the players just weren't up for because they just weren't good enough for it until it got him sacked in the summer. He needs to figure this out. 7 games to go. I'm not going to panic, right? It's not panic stations. The sky's not falling, but it is being a manager, being a head coach, whatever you want to call it. The semantics don't matter. It's about problem solving. It's about finding solutions, and he's not doing it right now. And it's just like Amorim, play a bit quicker, get another body in midfield. All we got to do is play a bit quicker, and just every single time it's Šeško coming on for Mbeumo, just flip that around sometimes. Because Ahmad had a better match against Villa. I'm glad Ahmad started. He was really good, really physical. I'm happy about it. But Šeško needed to start. We looked a little better when he came on. We don't put Pawson in the box, and we still just struggled to move the ball, man. It was just garbage, man. Let me see here what y'all are saying. We deserve better, says Carrick impressed me with his intelligent, diplomatic approach. I mean, he still called it out, right? He's a bit calm about it, and he's been a United player. He's been on the receiving end of those kind of calls. He's been under that, so he gets it a little bit to that extent. Amorim doesn't really like to call out refs, so you didn't really see Amorim do it a whole lot. He famously didn't do that at Sporting, but it needs to be called out. Like, it's not going to change anything. They're probably going to get fined, whatever, but it needs to be called out because it's like Brighton even had a chance today that really should have been called again. So it's stuff like that just needs to get called out, man. Yeah, and Mbeumo's lost in the 9. He can't hold up the ball. He doesn't really make the runs or the positioning that a 9 makes. He wants to keep drifting, which is, I mean, he's a winger. I'm not like bashing him for not being a 9. I'm just saying he's completely useless in that role because he's not his position. We're not moving the ball. And when you've got a team that sits back like that and we don't move the ball quickly enough so that they get back in numbers, he's got no room to work with. It just is what it is. It's like when we brought Garnacho on against Spurs in the final after they were 1-0 up. Garnacho's game is about getting into space and using his speed, and at that point, Spurs just were going to park the bus. So it's just completely ineffective when you do that. I'm not trying to sound arrogant or cocky, but I feel like it's a pretty obvious issue, and there's a pretty obvious solution. So I just don't get why coaches with badges and years of experience don't see how easy it is to fix that problem. Yes, the players still have to deliver, but at the end of the day, you put them in the best position to do that with your team selection and your tactics. And I feel like Carrick's kind of been fucking that up a little bit recently. Yeah, I like Cunha better there because Cunha will also drop in a little deeper and get a little bit more involved in those half spaces. Cunha doesn't rely on space as much as Mbumo does because Cunha, I think, is better as like a second striker, like Rooney. He's basically Rooney, Cunha, which I think if Bruno is sold, it like Cunha needs to slot right into that spot, right behind the 10, and kind of plays a second striker, in my opinion. I mean, it is what it is. Um, we deserve better. Says I'm getting slightly concerned about Carrick's one size fits all. It could have a lot to do with squad depth. Again, there's some injuries, and quite frankly, the quality is not there. I mean, recently we had to bring on Malacia. We're bringing on Ugarte, who's just not good enough. Maybe Fletcher could have made a difference. Maybe Heaven could have been a little better option to fill in for Shaw. I don't know. Take what you want, but it's just obviously Mizrahi was still sick, so that didn't work out. It's annoying though. It really is annoying, man. Yeah, it was a bad first touch from him, but that's gonna happen now and then. Like I don't mind that. It's the stuff like Dallow's sky. Like Dallow's final ball is just the worst. Because how many times has Dallow skied simple sitters like 10 yards out? Like he's just trying to recreate Fernando Torres penalty from a decade ago. Like come on, it's absolute shit. But moving on, my third takeaway, you guys. Not with a bang, but with a whimper? Question mark. Now, this result wasn't just about shit refereeing decisions or Carrick's setup. The players still have to perform, right? Like they just have to. But recently, they've looked a little tired. They've looked a little sloppy. They've looked a little complacent, or maybe just not up for it. Whatever you want to call it. I don't know what do you guys think the issue is there. Which do you think is the problem there? But whatever it is, it seems like it takes a halftime talk or a late sub or a moment of magic for them to wake up. Like that's not good enough. These players need to switch on the moment they wake up for a match. Granted, several players I thought had good games. Like I thought Bruno was great. Cunha I thought was very good. Kabi quietly had another good match as well. Ahmad I thought was very good too. Aside from like that poor touch, I thought Ahmad was pretty good. But overall, it's just as a squad, it's not been good enough. It's not a team that looks like it wants Champions League football, and right, quite frankly, it's not a team that looks like it deserves it. Much less would actually be able to cope with Champions League football. We can't hang when we've got to turn around and play like West Ham a couple days after a weekend. Like, how are we going to cope with Champions League football when we might have to go up against Bayern or Real Madrid or somebody midweek after playing on the weekend? Like, we'll get absolutely embarrassed. Sure, it's cool. It's money. But at the end of the day, the fans shouldn't care that much about the money. We want to win games. We want to win trophies. We want players to perform well. We want to go out there and put on a show and put on a performance and look like we give a shit. And the last couple of weeks, the players don't look like they have. Now, I talked about a little bit why I think that could be a contributing factor to this in my recent video, why Carrick maybe shouldn't be given the job. Go check that out. But like Newcastle, Bournemouth were just more physical. There's more energy. They were more alert to second balls. There was more fight from them. Obviously, they're at home. They do play a high pressing beat. But again, it's a hurdle that Carrick's got to figure out. And maybe it is we just didn't have the players available. Maybe if everyone is fit, we don't have as good players. But I do think Licha could have made a difference. Picking up injuries at the worst time. We've got the home stretch of the season, 7 games to go. We can't afford to keep dropping points. It just felt like at times Bournemouth and like Newcastle, they've got an extra player on the pitch. There always seemed to be somebody available. It's like we tried to press and then we just couldn't do it because it was half-assed. And then the ball just seems to find its way to an available player in midfield, whether it was Christie, whether it's Alex Scott. Alex Scott is a tremendous player, by the way. If it wasn't for that iffy injury record, I'd be all over Alex Scott. I think he'd be incredible. But we'll see. It doesn't help, though, again, like Bournemouth were energetic. It doesn't help that we were very passive off the ball. Like, again, we wanted to make ourselves compact, let them have a little bit of the ball with a little space to work in. But because we weren't really putting enough pressure on them, we were happy to kind of stay on the back foot. We didn't really seem eager to go and kind of make it difficult for them. Like, there was a lot of movement, a lot of good passing, a lot of interchange, and they kind of cut right through us a little bit at times. So it's just not good enough. That Casemiro, that completely missed tackle from Casemiro just waits way too long to even try to attempt to do that, and he gets completely just walked by. Like, that kind of stuff cannot be happening, man. Players need to fix up. But I don't know. Maybe some of them had one foot already with an eye on the international break. Kind of like that last day of class in school where you're not even listening anymore. You're just watching the clock with like a toe on the desk as you're like ready to run away. Maybe that's what's going on. No idea. Let me see what you guys got going on here. Then it says midfield got ran through. Yeah, they definitely did. Again, they like to get those runners in there. But our midfield is no pace in that midfield. It is difficult. It's very, very worrying. Hawar says Michael's been good until now. Not sure we would do good in United's permanent manager position. Yeah, I mean, there are many arguments for and against. Again, go watch those two videos and let me know your thoughts in those comments as well, because I try to put out all the arguments I can think of for and against. Again, if you had to ask me right now, I would probably say no. But the issue that I always come back to right now with Carrick is that what other options are out there? Like, it's not as simple as Roy Keane likes to think, that you just go and just get a manager. Like, it's not easy. It's not like you're just going to the store to get bread or something. It's not always possible. The World Cup definitely throws a spanner in the works. I think if this were a year ago or a year from now, we wouldn't have an issue. You could go get Nagelsmann, Ancelotti, Tuchel, and it would be just fine. The World Cup definitely makes it difficult. Not only because these guys are with their international squads, we can't wait till after the World Cup to get somebody in, get their coaching staff in, get the preseason started. It's just, we have to start before that. It just is what it is. And we have to get our transfer business done. Potential targets aren't going to wait till after the World Cup to figure out who our manager is. They want to know who they're playing for. It's annoying. Huar says, I'm not sure. It's because of the player's quality, because he doesn't have tactical ideas. Well, Carrick has tactics. He's getting his team selection wrong in these last couple weeks, in my opinion. We Deserve Better says, our fullbacks don't overlap often enough. We all know midfield has always been an issue. Tweak these in the summer. Yeah, we get some better fullbacks. Again, Dorgu being out is a miss. Licha being out is a miss as well. We're missing a lot of players right now, man. Dallo was doing my head in early on. He put in that one good ball that Bruno really should have put away to that back post. And again, fair play to Bournemouth. They always seem to just pop up with a brilliant save. I mean, Petrovic was standing on his head at times to keep that ball out of the back of the net. But that's when it started to feel like we're gonna drop points in it. I think I called a 1-1 draw. I think Dylan called the Desmond in the preview. But it just felt like it was gonna be one of those days where we were getting good chances. That ball to Bruno, 9 times out of 10 that probably goes in. It's just on the day, it just didn't. Maybe if Bruno would have tried to cushion that back across goal, Cunha could have put that in, or if Bruno had tried to head it himself. It's just one of those things where the stars just weren't aligning on the day, and it just ended up with this. So Danny says, have a new left back for you. May have covered him. Oh, I did see your comment, Del Blanco. Yeah, we did cover him a while back. Is that the guy who's at is it Independiente or is it Estudiantes? I can't remember now off the top of my head. Yeah, we did cover him several months ago. But yeah. At the end of the day, I mean, I guess, again, I did predict the draw. It doesn't put us in any danger of dropping down the table. But again, I'm still fuming. We are 6 points off City, who are in second. They do not play another league match for several weeks. They have, obviously, their Carabao Cup final against the Gooners tomorrow. We are 4 points above Villa as well. 7 points above Chelsea. 6 above Liverpool, who were beaten by Brighton today, 2-1. So big up Brighton. Danny Welbeck, once a red, always a red, doing the Lord's work. Van Hecke, again, another amazing performance from Van Hecke. You guys, this is why I want us to sign him in the summer. He's excellent. But all in all, we can't afford to drop any more points. We just can't. Like I said, anything but a win is going to be a loss right now with how tight things are. Yes, we've got a tiny little cushion, but I want more of a cushion. I want more of a security here. We're going to get to a point in a couple weeks where it could be impossible for us to miss out on Champions League, but we got to get to that point first. It's like keeping one eye on another game. Like, focus on the next one first. Focus on the one you're in first, and then we can handle that, right? It's 10 games under Michael Carrick, 7 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws now. Do you have confidence that those numbers suggest a top 4 finish, or are you worried about the dip in form? The results I think we're scraping by a little bit, but the form itself is what I'm worried at. First half against Villa was garbage. 90 minutes against Bournemouth was garbage. First half against West Ham, almost the whole match against West Ham, garbage. Like Newcastle, garbage. The performances worry me because results will align with performances. Like, whether that's good or bad, they will start to align with the performances, and it's worrying for me. I'm concerned about injuries as well. Maguire is going to be out the next match. Licha could be back. De Ligt is probably done for the season, which is just ridiculous. Shaw struggled to keep up with Rayon, especially that early counter they had. You could tell he was struggling, man. We miss Dorgu, we miss Licha, we miss Mazraoui, we miss a lot of players right now. Pray, pray, pray nobody picks up an injury during this international break. I'd love a few cases of the international break flu to pop up as well, because I don't want anybody to pick up an injury. I think that would be absolute dire situation here. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna check. Let me check these live scores real quick, y'all. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe too as well if you guys have not yet done so. Want to know that this channel is growing. It's been amazing seeing the channel grow as way it is. So who we got? Fulham are playing Burnley right now. Everton play Chelsea at 1:30. Leeds get Brentford. Kind of boring matches today, huh? Anything else going on today that could be interesting? No. Middlesbrough drew 0-0. Nothing there. Boo. Yeah, kind of a boring day for footy, all in all. So let me get this off the screen for y'all real quick and do that. There we go. Let me get caught up in the chat real quick. We Deserve Better says, end of the day, could have had the game of the season, but with that ref at the almost exact, yeah. We'll obviously be waiting to see what happens. Obviously, it's you can't go back and change the result. No one's not going to replay the match. It's just, it needs to be called out. The refs, obviously, they have their own little mini clique and their own little, like, cult where they're going to protect each other. You got Dermot McMotherfucking Gallagher out here trying to protect one another on a ref watch. So part of me is like, I want them to have to explain their decisions at the end of the match, but, like, you also don't want them to get any more attention. Bill made that point yesterday, and it is a fair point. Like, it's bad enough we've got shows like Ref Watch. Like, we don't want them to be any more high profile than they already are. We already got Michael Oliver walking around like he's fucking Neymar out here, like rolling up with fur coats and shit, making himself the star of every match he's involved in. That sending off of Gigi Buffon in the Champions League just is embarrassing. Like, you can't speak out against them. Like, it's ridiculous. And they want to hide behind the excuse of putting the game in ill repute. Like, your performance puts the game in ill repute, man. Like, it's absolute garbage, dude. Hawars is in the summer. We need a full revamp. Oh yeah, we fully do. We've done tons of videos on scouting on midfielders. I've scouted left wingers. I've scouted fullbacks, both right back and left back. We've done a Casemiro replacement video. Tons of players out there. Midfield is the one position this summer where you shouldn't have to spend a lot of money unless you want like a world-class midfielder like a Tonali or an Anderson, because there are a lot of good midfielders out there that you could get for 30, maybe 40 million tops. Even as low as like 20 million if you want to go for someone like Urenki as a rotation option, because he's the guy that Brighton are looking at to replace Baleba. There are options out there. Shouldn't have to spend a lot on midfielders unless you just want to beat everybody to a big name. So Danny's worried about the squad. So am I, man. I'm very, very worried. It's 7 matches to go. We've just got to get over the line and secure top 5. It looks like it still will probably be top 5. Our coefficient was way ahead of most people. I think Italy's was behind us, the Italian clubs, and we were still like 4 or 5 points ahead. And there's no Italian clubs in there like at this point, right? So I think we'll be fine personally. We Deserve Better says, I always felt March was a tough ask. Only thought we'd get 2 points. Felt we'd come back stronger. We'll see. It felt like for a while we seemed to get these international breaks right when we were in a really good run of form. So we'll see. Hopefully enough players maybe can come back fit. Wrap everybody in cotton wool. I want everybody, like Bruno needs to come down with the flu or something. Like everybody needs to get sick so they don't go anywhere. Shesko not going anywhere. And Mbumo, Cunha, no one's going anywhere, man. Like, this is annoying, dude. We got a troll in here. Big up, rival fan. Welcome. You just got me a view though for your trolling. So big up there. Debassi's in the house. Overall match was bad regardless of the ref. I mean, yeah, like I said, take nothing away. Like, the performance was bad. The setup, the selection was bad. The referees were awful, though. Let's be honest. Not taking our chances, like Danny says. Yeah. Let's see. Debassi likes Jimenez. You know, a lot of people are going on about Jimenez. Do a little bit of research on Jimenez, and you might see why he might not be a good option. The kid's got a bit of an attitude problem, from what I've read. So keep an eye out for that one. But you guys. That's it for me. Like I said, I'm going to be taking a couple days off during this first couple, starting like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because international break, it's going to be a long break. It's been a very, very packed couple weeks for me. So I'm just going to take a couple days off, and barring any major breaking news or anything, of course, but just going to take a couple days off from the channel just to kind of chill, hang out with the wife a little bit, go do some fun stuff and whatnot. So there's a lot of content for you guys to keep busy. Like I said, if you haven't yet checked out my two videos, the case for Carrick, the case against Carrick. Go check those out. The interview with the agent, James Featherstone, has been live. If you haven't watched that one yet, go watch that one as well. If you want a little insight on what it's like to be an agent and whatnot, really good video. I was very thankful for him to sit down and do that with me. Really nice guy. Met him through my course with the PFA. He's a good guy. Top guy, man. Super nice. But tons of content out there. We will be back later on as well, but later on in the week, I mean. But it's going to take a couple days off. I hope you guys are okay with that. I feel like we all just every now and then could do with a couple days off, right? So let me wrap up these chats for you guys real quick. We deserve better, says possible player sales. Yeah, we're going to sell Rashford. Højlund's definitely going to go. Ugarte, we'd be lucky to get 35 million euros for Ugarte. We'd be lucky to get 20 million for Ugarte. Xerxes, we'll see. I think we did that last week. Dylan and I sat down and did a breakdown of what we think this year's bomb squad should be. And so some of you guys were iffy on Maguire, also iffy on Xerxes. If we get a decent offer, I think the consensus was, yeah, fine, but he wouldn't be top priority. Greenwood, if he gets sold, we'll get half of that as well, so that's nice. But we will see what happens. But you guys, try to enjoy the rest of your weekend if you can. It's a Carabao Cup final tomorrow, so, I mean, it is what it is. City need to turn it around. They're out of the Champions League. Arsenal, we can't have Arsenal just shithousing their way to the Premier League this year. So City have to do better. City have to. I'm not banking on us getting second, but City have to keep Arsenal looking over their shoulder, because I think that's when Arsenal are shaky. Arsenal still are in the Champions League. They've got to travel to face Sporting as well. They could get drawn and spread too thin. So let's hope that City win, because everything they have has an asterisk next to it anyway, just like Chelsea now. So it is what it is, you guys. But I appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out. If you weren't able to catch it live, please leave your thoughts in the comments. But most importantly, like, subscribe, check out the memberships as well. There's tons of perks for you guys. We've got a WhatsApp group for Starting 11 and Legends members as well. Legends members get early access to the exclusive videos, so keep a lookout for that as well. It's a great way to support the channel too. Go check out the United vs. Everybody store. There is a link in the video description. You can get all sorts of cool shit, like my my King of Tridents shirt that I'm rocking right now. It's Eric Cantona, kind of looks like a playing card, so go check out all that kind of stuff. But until then, you guys, take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you guys for stopping by, as always. Good to see some new faces and some old familiar faces as well. And I will see you guys on the next one. Laters.